Doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together. Something I can't say that I've really done before with a girl. Damn. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same way, though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes within arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there is not much of a crowd there, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library. I was reading. She does spend classes she skips at the library. Ah, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class like Shizune said, right? Right. The slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. You don't have to say it like that, bro. You can chill. It's okay. It's like I needed a double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. You don't need gloves, bro. You just need speech. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that silence between us is hovering over the edge of both of our minds. So, you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. What do you mean, nor why I asked the question? You literally just said, I need to break this silence with small talk. Chill, bro. That much was rather obvious after all. She doesn't seem to be the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily may well be her only friend. Must be a pain in different classes, I'm guessing. Jesus. She gives a sharp, almost reflexive nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more. Both of us are content that the discussions reach an end. As we ascended the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish moving from one feeding area to another. She's so close. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako's moved behind me. Hey, are you alright? Just keep going. Damn. Students pass us without much of a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again as we enter the building, her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I'd call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lily acting as her mediator, I doubt Hanako would even have been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. Chill, man. You don't have to keep talking, you know? The silence means that she's comfortable, at least a little. That's all you need, bro. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That could only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reach the door to Class 3-2, with Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me. I open the door. Oh, this is loud. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not at the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around as she stands in front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for the lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Hi, Lily. Oh, because she can't see. Jeez. She perks her head up a bit, then breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must have been her classmate, trying to listen as best she can. Sorry, who? Sorry, Hisao? I have Hanako, too. Hi. She seems pretty skittish, considering the number of people around. It isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a moment to pause and assess the situation before turning to the other student once again. For the moment, just ask Moria for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already. Kenji. Quick nod because she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding through the wall for the face of orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? Of course, bro. It's like a class for, like, visually disabled people. I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji hunched over a sheet of cloth as he painted it. I thought he wasn't coming to school today. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me how close he has to be in order to make out my face when I met him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students, even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand. That's right. Class 3-2, especially for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. Need a hand? I could help you if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too. Maybe don't offer her services, bro. The chance to set her mind on something would do her good. Don't start. Whatever. But I doubt she has the courage to do so. Ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Okay. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. Ah, that's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help this person standing painting behind the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help. Can you? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. I can't really blame her. I take it you've met? Our rooms are in the dorm right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. Friend. I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. We'll go help him then. He knows what he's doing, right? That's right. Just ask if you have any problems. Chorusing in ascent? Yeah, like through. Okay. Hanako and I begin the trek along the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed up on the white calico in front of him. Hey, Kenji. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the half-painted kanji that's sketched on the sheet of pencil. Kenji? Huh? What? Who is it? If this is the way he treats class members, it's no small wonder he's working alone. It's me, Hisao, from the... Right, I know that, man. What are you doing here, though? His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to get really focused on his work. Hated to be disturbed by anyone until he's done, I suppose. This is a weird interaction. Okay. Let's see how Kenji works with, like, a girl. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out in front, or behind me, reminds me that she's here. I was just gonna help with the banner. Hanako and I, that is. Hello. Oh, hey. I guess that's okay. As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about-face. His sudden faux hospitality is slightly unsettling. Oh, right, women. In second thoughts, this may not have been a great idea after all. This is so weird. Hanako and I grudgingly set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, noting the several small paint tins that are around the ground around it. Class 3-2 noodle stall? You guys selling noodles at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some of the stalls outside or something. Or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this? We do borders while you do the text, or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine. You do the borders. He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako is already debating between colors to use. By the time I've put brush to cloth, she's already started a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean towards me, whisper conspiratorially. Okay, man, why are you here? Hanako just wanted some help to find Lily, that's all. He apparently disapproves of my motivation. I get it. It looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover? I should have guessed letting the truth slip by him would probably be better than outright lying or annoying him. In any case. Is that why you're here? Obviously, it sucks, but there's no better way to get intel than doing it yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school. Harsh world. Yeah. Very harsh. He misses my true meaning as he leans back, satisfied with I'm sympathetic to his cause. I'd better get down to work. Finished. Looks like I am too. Good job. Two of us connect up the lines in our patterns, mine being as close as copy as I can manage of hers. With a grunt, I lever myself up from the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left finishing off a sign, as well as Lily and a couple of students talking among themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise. It's getting pretty late. Need a hand? I offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. The scars extend even to there. I wonder how much of her body was burned. I really, low-key, I completely forgot she was burned until right now. Like, I know it's like her whole thing, but like, I don't, I'm looking at the text most of the time because I want to read it like quick enough, but I just looked at her and like, I usually look when they do something cool, but I just completely forgot she was burned. That's crazy. I felt a pang of guilt about it as she quickly covers her wrist with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment, noticing that I mean the banner. It does, I guess. Her smile shows that she's a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on the desks and shelves, it's much easier to get to Lily as we cross the room. To finish the banner, guess that's all that needs to be done. Lily gives an appreciative nod. Thank you, Sao, Hanako. Is there any way I can thank you? It's fine. Beats sitting in my room studying, at any rate. I don't mind either. She nods before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still here? As I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room. Yeah, just finished. He carefully slides his sign onto an empty section of the shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door. See you, man. Bye. The remaining two students say their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again, working past school time. Indeed, the class's plans this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stalls look nice, though. She's right. It shows that a lot of work's gone into them. My, I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to hear that. At least now, there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Sao? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. Into the girls' dorms? The nighttime lighting really makes the gardens look quite different. Compared to the usual lush of greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to eki the most out of their approaching curfews, but no more. I don't know what that word is. Maybe make? I don't know. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally relax. I don't know why I did that. A bit of the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The thing with Shizune kind of took me off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little as the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shizune and I go back some ways. Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glance over to Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is, unsurprisingly, evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it says something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival is over in any case. The change of topics is welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school festivals were a lot more low-key than this. Yamaku stresses the idea of school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals such special occasions. And yet, the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear us grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict all-girl... What? I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me with a bit of Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That'd go away towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior in any case. As we come up to the dormitories, it eventually comes our time to leave for our respective rooms. Are we going to see Rain here? See you, Lily, Hanako. The two give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorms, just next to the guys. As is to be expected from such a arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms, rub my neck, both quite a bit sore after having worked on the floor for so long, before walking to my room. Feels good to actually have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, teachers seems a bit a blessing. My mouse is in the way. I guess, if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. Made a promise, and I'm gonna keep it. Besides, Emmy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. It's not all that bad. Good night, guys.